All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the first session of Gaunt's Goal. They can hear you now, guys, so you can say hello if you want.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
I'm not saying hi because you told me to. I'm not doing it now.
Oh boy, this is gonna be a long campaign, huh?
I'll try my
Said do
best.
the thing. No.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Gaunt's Gold. I've been putting this one together for a little while, and I'm very happy to finally see it. They're gifting me inspiration already. Oh boy, that'll be interesting.
No.
But welcome to Gaunt's Gold. I'm very excited to have this one starting up. It's the first of a few, but we're gonna let this one get started before we roll out another one because I think several D&D campaigns starting at the same time would probably melt my brain. But this is the first of a couple that we've got on the way. So welcome to our players as well. We've got some familiar faces, some new faces. One new face. But welcome regardless. We've got joining me in this campaign, Rika 35, the tiger, who was with us in Beyond the Eye. We've got Jotun Redwolf, who was also with us in Beyond the Eye, our little Spelljammer short campaign. We've got Olivia, who's joining us from a million different things. But probably most notably Seas of Sand. And joining us in this campaign is Gabby.
Yay.
Who's a newcomer to Grand Lorien, but a friend of mine.
I'm honored.
So welcome, everybody. I'm very excited to get this one going, so we can just kind of get into it, unless anybody's got any questions, last minute questions.
How do I play D&D, actually?
Oh,
Yeah.
all right, hang on. Yeah, all right. Session 1 canceled. We're gonna do a 7-hour tutorial.
Awesome.
Yeah, can you include diagrams? I'm a visual learner.
Sorry.
So...
Just ask the NPCs in character how to do stuff, and I'll have a tutorial NPC ready for you.
Okay, I'm gonna go up to the tutorial NPC. Are the dice edible?
Yes.
No. I mean, yes, but
only once. Only one
with
time.
varying
Only
degrees
once.
of success. Yeah. They technically are edible. You can eat them, but
I have
do we
seen someone
recommend
make
it?
dice out of eggs.
No, we don't recommend.
You could eat them.
I've seen like candy that like is dice. It's just like
That
sugar.
looks like dice.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
But I feel like buying that would just promote bad habits because it's like you already kind of feel the urge to eat dice, right?
You might
Yes.
make
Yeah.
real
Yes. No, you're. Yeah, I'm staring at my dice right now. Let me tell you, I'm getting a little hungry.
So I feel like having candy dice in the same house as real dice, it would be kind of a recipe for disaster.
you put them all in the same bag, and it's like kind of a roulette situation. Like,
Yeah, it's like
You
those.
should
It's like
guess.
those jelly beans. Yeah. Except you go to the hospital instead of just being grossed out. All right, let's get started, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
All right. Well, you guys are already on the right screen, so I don't have to move you guys around, but chat's got to come with me. All right, get over here, chat. Come on. There we go. Oh, here we go. Perfect. The lovers. Yeah, it seems to be a trend that no matter what new campaign we run, doodles are inevitable on the main map. So just wanted to show that off. I didn't want to delete it because it clearly had so much artistic talent poured into it. So felt wrong to just erase it entirely.
It's a testament to love, you know.
Truly. All right. So let's get going. No better time than the present to kick off this little campaign. It's not little. It's longer than Beyond the Eye, I promise. So, our story today starts off in the continent of Bastila, but very specifically within the Seven Baronies, just outside of Marenhall, in the central part of the Baronies. A small caravan lurches along. But as you travel and the sun begins to set, the wheels of the prison caravan lurch to a stop. Though you've been herded from all over the Seven Baronies, your destination is one and the same: a prison out past Whaler's Rest. However, you won't see the prison walls tonight. No, the prison itself is still a week's ride away. The prison guards decide to rest for the night, setting up a makeshift camp from rough-shod leather tents at the center of a small patchy clearing in the woods. The guards chatter amongst themselves in the firelight, ignoring you, the prisoners that shiver in darkness at the bonfire's edge. Your stomach growls. High up in the tall branches, the wind howls. And then the silence is broken by a new sound. A whistling, loud and rapid, punctuated by a wet, dull thud. An arrow sprouts from the neck of one of the prison guards. In unison, the other guards leap to their feet, heads on a swivel. "We're under attack!" one of them yells. There's a rustling in the underbrush. Dark figures leap out, armed and armored to their rodent-like teeth. A warband of Crete, highly territorial and warlike mole folk, leap out in ambush, making it well clear that they, unlike your captors, are certainly not here to take prisoners. Just as you wonder if this cage might become your grave, an errant bolt of flame from the Cretan tunnel mage smashes into the cage, melting the bars into molten slag. As the cage that keeps you melts away before your very eyes, you realize you're free. Out of one frying pan and cast into the fire. Roll initiative. Starting off hot with a combat encounter.
And right off the bat.
Oh my
Right off
gosh.
the bat. No, I have to
I'm
learn
sitting
how
here,
to do
I'm like,
stuff.
oh my god.
We're
And
in
you're
it. We
right.
got this.
Yeah, we got it. We got it. We're hardened
They're kind of
criminals.
cute, guys. I don't want to kill them.
I was literally about to say they're really ugly, so I'm glad you didn't say that. I'm glad I didn't say that
look
either.
as they're rolling.
Oh,
No, get that out of here.
Ew.
It's like one of those like hairless
Terrible.
cats, you know?
It's
They're
a
like,
naked mole rat. It's Rufus.
it's a naked
from,
mole rat. It's Rufus.
Okay, real. I do love a good naked mole rat. Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Who's that for, Bluefin? Rika? Alright. Sarisa, you have inspiration. You can mark that on your character sheet.
Cool. How do I do
Chat has
that?
given it to you. Right at the top, kind of next to your health on the left, is an inspiration box. You can just check it. It's like a checkbox.
Oh,
And then that'll let
God.
you re-roll.
okay.
Chat
cool.
has gifted you that.
Ooh, thanks, guys.
All right. Let me double check because I think it populated some of these wrong. Let's make sure. 14, perfect. Okay. And Teresa, what did you get, Teresa?
It says a 7. I don't know if it showed up in the roll 20 though.
Yeah, it didn't. But the 7
Huh.
did count. I just wanted to make sure.
Weird. Let me double check my.
Yeah, open the You can open the extension and then like refresh both pages and make sure that it's working. But while you're doing that, first to act is Anthena. As the
Ooh.
cage before you melts into molten, burning metal, the night air is open in front of you, but there are 2 different parties of enemies before you. The guards from the prison that plan to haul you off and lock you away for a very long time, and the new war band that would rather see you spend that time 6 feet underground. What do you do?
Ooh, okay. So our cell has been bust open. What about the one that's over here?
The one over there has not been broken open.
Not been broken.
As you look off to your left into the other cage, you see a woman who is in the same caravan as you, packed onto the back of one of the large wagons.
Okay.
She herself is alone in her cage, but she's tied up a lot more heavily than you guys. You guys are. You were tied up and just kind of loosely thrown in here, and then your bonds were released so that you could sit comfortably in the back of the wagon for a long journey. Whereas she is lying down, tied up.
Ooh, okay. All right. And what's the situation like? Is there like a lock on the cages?
The cages do indeed have a lock on the front of them. There's sort of a gate on the front that is locked up tight with a heavy-looking padlock.
Okay.
And as for the state of all 4 of you, just to start things off, as I didn't mention in my intro, you are all prisoners on your way to prison, and thus currently all unarmed and unarmored. As all of your gear was confiscated, though you do estimate that it was probably brought along with you for logistic. So, bringing us back to that, Anthena, what would you like to do?
Saying that, so I'm assuming any instrument of mine has been taken. Would I still be allowed to cast a spell, or would you do you want me to get some instrument back before I do that?
Well, you would need your focus, yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. In that case, I'm gonna hop out of the cage.
As you climb out of
I
the cage, make a perception check for me.
Ooh, okay. 13.
With a 13, you glance around the clearing, you squint your eyes, and in the gloom, with just the firelight to see by, you notice that there's some crates over here, but there are also some crates over here. And with only a 13, you can't remember which one you saw them put your equipment into.
Okay. In that case, let me see. Yeah, that's too far. I think in that case, I am gonna. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna run over this way. And I'm actually gonna try and take a look at the lock that's on this cage and see. I'm assuming there needs a key, but do I get the sense that I could kind of brute force it open, or is it very much heavy padlock?
The lock itself does look pretty heavy duty. They are sort of prison transport cages, so they're decently well maintained because they see a lot of use. But that isn't to say that it'd be impossible to brute force it, just probably difficult barehanded.
Okay, all right. In that case, I will just, let's see. That was 30. I'm gonna try. I think I have to technically dash because I think it's 5 more movement than I
Mhm.
have. But I'm gonna try and look in this bin here, and
Okay.
see if I can find any equipment at all.
Yeah, you use your free item interaction to kind of pry open this crate as you run past this Cretan pikeman with his long spear. And as you kind of dart around behind him, you see that he does kind of turn to face you, but you're a little faster and you quickly pry open that crate. And roll a d4 for me. And before you do it, choose odds or evens.
I'll go even,
Okay, now roll a d4.
and that's a 1. So
Your stuff is not in here, but you do see what appears to be some sort of book.
Okay,
And
I'll grab.
that you're
Yeah,
not
I'll grab the book.
that you're not familiar with. It certainly doesn't belong to you.
I'll still grab it.
And also tucked in there, you see what appears to be a rather heavy-looking maul and a small little boomerang against the side.
Okay, I'll grab what I'm able to. In obviously in an effort to give it to everybody else when you all shall need it. Yeah, and I think that's my turn. I'll just stay situated back here, and watch what happens.
Very well. The next act is Kagox.
I see that the cage has been opened by means of fire and flame. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yeah, you're inside a metal cage that has been kind of molten and destroyed. It's melted away in the front and left this open area big enough to kind of dive right through.
Okay. Well, I'm rather large, so I'm gonna duck my head under the molten slag, and I'm going to move to where this guard is here. And I look at him.
I will say,
And-
just to move them onto the grid, they are in these squares.
Okay. I tell the guard, move. As I reach down to grab the log that he's currently sitting on.
He isn't actually currently sitting on it. He did jump to his feet when the Crete showed up.
Okay.
And so
I
let's
still
say
tell him to
that he
move.
has, we'll say he has 1 foot on either side of it. And he wasn't looking at you when you ran up, but he kind of spins around, startled to see you free, and has to kind of look up.
Oh no! I walked up really slowly. I was like, move.
Yeah, he did, but he didn't even realize that the cage was open, and so he turns around and like looks up to realize that you're free, and just kind of dumbfounded stares at you for a moment, and then just stumbles back.
Okay. Am I able to pick up this log and wield it as a weapon?
It's a decently heavy like tree trunk. Make a strength check for me.
Okay.
You are pretty strong, so it's not going to be like super difficult, but make a strength check anyway.
All right. That's a 12.
Yeah, with a 12, it's not the easiest thing in the world. Maybe your muscles are a little stiff from sitting for so long, but you do manage to kind of haul it up after a couple tries.
Okay. I just want to get it up and just kind of like wield it there.
Very well.
Am I okay? So that's my move, and that would be my action to pick that up. So that is my turn.
Very well. Then that will bring us to we will say that, and then we'll say Alright, that'll bring us to this Crete Arbalist, who is going to level his crossbow. Seeing an opening as this guy turns around, he's going to level his crossbow and fire at the guard that just kind of turned around to face you, Kagox. And that's going to hit. It kind of lands right in a gap in his armor. And is going to heal. Enough damage to kill him. So the crossbow bolt lodges right into his neck and he collapses backward. Which will end the Arbalist's turn and bring us to the Cretan Tunnel Mage. And the Tunnel Mage is going to, with this long robe that it's wearing, it raises one of its arms. And the sleeve of it, you can see this kind of gnarled looking rodent-like finger point across the clearing. At you, Kegox. And it's going to cast Eldritch Blast at you. I believe 17 is going to hit you.
Yes.
So that's going to be 5 force damage as you are sort of hit right in the chest by this bolt of purple light.
How much damage again? You kind of cut out on me. I'm sorry.
5.
5. Thank you.
And that'll end his turn, which will bring us to Leah. Am I cutting out for all of you guys? Because I'm noticing my Discord's a little wonky today.
You sound just a little robotic.
Yeah, a little
Not
choppy.
bad.
Yeah.
I don't imagine that chat's hearing it. They're getting my direct mic. So yeah, it should be good on chat's end. If I'm like really roboty, then here, let me just go a quick like disconnect and reconnect. Just to see if that helps. But as long as chat can hear me, then that's good. But if you need me to repeat anything, just let me know.
Okay.
There's not a lot I can really do about bad internet. All right, Leah, it's your turn.
All right. So I'm going to step out of the cage here and look around. You said that Anthena had found a book. Can I see if that would be my book in particular?
Anthena, you just holding it in your arm?
Yeah.
All right. Then yeah, make a. You got dark vision. Then yeah, you can see it. It is in fact your spell book.
All right, cool. So I will see that she's holding my spell book. And I'll just use my action to get over there and just I'll stand right next to her. Be like,
All right. So
Hi.
Anthena, from across the clearing, one of your fellow prisoners sprints directly towards you. You can talk for free. That is free.
Okay. So I'll look at Anthena, and I'll say, that's my book you're holding. If I could have that back.
Oh, yeah, of course. And she hands it over to you very hurriedly, and she's like, "Can you cast something? Can you help us?"
I will in 6 seconds.
6
Uh,
A
seconds.
rather specific amount of time.
Counts them on her finger.
It's very particular. I have to think before I cast a spell. It's very particular.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. All right, yeah. I'm actually looking for, well, my instrument as well. I'm assuming it's in the complete opposite crate of the one that I went to. So we'll see.
Well, if you need to head over there, I've got your back. So don't be afraid.
Thank you. And she looks like very touched by that. You know, she was not expecting the other prisoners to be as nice as you have been, so.
With that, that's gonna be Leah's turn.
Very well. That will bring us to this fellow right here, who is sort of whirled around to see Anthena and Leah fiddling with the contents of this crate. And it's just gonna swing at the closest target, which would be Anthena, since he showed up first.
Yeah.
And will try to stab you from here with his long range pike.
Ooh.
And he rolled a 13.
Ah, that's exactly my
Is
armor
that meat
class.
speeds?
Yep, meat speeds.
All right. Then that is going to hit you. He stabs you with his pike. For 4 piercing.
4 piercing? Yep. Alright. Awesome. I love my hit point total right now. So good.
That will bring us to this pikeman, who's going to run over here towards this guard, and he's going to stab at him with his pike. He's going to charge him with his pike. And so that is going to be extra damage that will kill that guy. Which brings us to Ceresa's turn.
Oh, okay.
So Ceresa, the other prisoners that you've been locked up in here with for some time have all launched themselves out of the cage to join the fray. What do you decide to do?
Ooh. I'm going to hesitantly step out. How do I? Okay. I'm gonna step out a little bit
Mm-hmm.
and look around. Are like the guards like dead? Like super dead?
Yeah, the guards who have been hit by stuff. One of them's got an arrow sticking out of his neck. The other one's got a pike right through his chest and a gap in his armor. They look rather dead.
Am I able to cast any spells?
Well, they did confiscate your focus, so you will need to find that.
Okay. Can I make some sort of check to remember where they put my stuff?
Do you have dark vision? Let me double check. You do. You have dark vision, so you would see that the people over here are carrying some stuff. Though it does appear that one of the fellow prisoners hasn't really found what she's looking for, so maybe all of the supplies are not kept in the same place.
Oh, okay. So where would the other crate be?
But you look around and see that there's another crate over here.
Oh. So how far? How far is that? Okay.
So to get that far, you would have to use your action to dash.
Okay. I have to use action to dash. Okay. I am rightly terrified. This sucks. And I'm going to decide to get my stuff so this will suck a little less.
Fair enough.
And so I will use my... You said action?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything...
It would just mean that you couldn't use your action to attack or cast spells, but right now you're focusing on movement and just opening up the crate, so you really don't need your action anyway, right?
Okay, so with my action and fueled by fear, I'm going to scamper on over here. Like right here?
Mhm. Yeah, that's close enough.
Yeah, okay. And is the crate like locked or anything?
They're kind of like sealed shut, but not like super tight. They really weren't expecting a jailbreak.
Righteous. I'm going to throw open the crate.
All right, yeah, you use your free action to interact with the environment and throw open the crate, upon which you see, tucked inside this crate is a rapier, which is very much not yours.
Yep, not mine.
But you also see a mace that very much is yours, as well as some armor that also belongs to you.
Hoorah. Okay, do I have... can I pick all this stuff up?
I'll let you pick up the weapon, but donning and doffing armor takes a while, so that's
Okay.
not something that you would probably want to do in the middle of combat.
Okay. Can I pick up the mace And you said there's a rapier in there too?
Yes.
Oh.
A rapier that you're not familiar with, but you estimate probably belongs to one of the other prisoners.
Yep, belongs to somebody, not me.
So
Okay.
you scoop up both into your arms.
Yeah. And oh, has this guard over here noticed that I'm like
Yeah, he kind of turned and watched you run, sort of taking in the situation as all this has sort of happened at the same time, right? And so he was watching the Crete show up. He watched a couple of his friends just get stabbed in front of him, and then his eyes kind of follow you, and then he calls out, just almost instinctively, "Prison escape!" And then looks around and realizes that he's the only guard left.
Oh, can I say anything to him?
Yeah, it's free to talk.
Okay, cool. I look at him and I smile nervously and say, "Sorry?"
He seems sort of grit his teeth, coming to bears with the situation that he's currently in, and goes, "Look, those Crete want us all dead, so how about we get out of this and then we talk?"
Oh, sounds fair to me.
He gives you a last nod as he kind of grips his own weapon at his side and draws his sword.
Hoorah.
Is that all, Sarisa?
Is there anything else I can do, or is that it?
Unless you have any bonus actions, I think that's pretty much all you can do.
Oh,
You would have also found your arcane focus in there as well, your holy focus.
booyah. Okay.
I forgot to mention that specifically, but all your stuff is in there, so you would have that now. So if you do have any bonus action spells, you would be able to do that.
How do I remember what's a bonus action spell again?
So on your
guys?
character sheet, under the stuff you can do, you have your spells, right? And then that time there. So he has this 1A, 1A, 1A in the time column under your spell list.
Spell list. No.
So you're looking at your spells on your character sheet, right?
I think so.
The tab, because you have actions, spells, inventory, features, traits, right?
Okay, actions. I'm looking at my spells.
Yeah, you go to spells, and then you look down, and there's cantrip, and there's your guidance and poison spray and all that, right?
Yeah.
But right to the right of that, there's a time column that says 1A, 1A, 1A.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, so that means they take one action, and if it said 1BA, that would be one bonus action.
Oh, okay. Cool, cool. Okay, I have diddly squat left. Cool.
Yeah, so all of yours take an action, so you wouldn't be able to cast anything this turn since you used your action to dash.
Oh,
So that's basically all you can do, so you can end your turn if you'd like.
Yepper do.
All right. Then that will bring us to this arbalist here, who kind of makes his way around this leather tent, levels his crossbow at discard and fires. But he misses. The bolt goes wide and kind of sails in between you and him, Sarisa, off into the trees to lodge into the trunk of a heavy oak.
Beep.
Which rolls us all the way back around, as the other guards. Actually, that'll roll us to this guard here. Sorry. He is going to charge out this far to get to this guy. He's going to swipe at this soldier, at this Crete pikeman. He's going to hit for 3 slashing. So you see some blood drip from that Crete pikeman, but he is still alive. And that will bring us back to Anthena.
Okay, so let's see. I don't have any of my items. Just out of character for a second. She didn't pull my lyre out of the other box, right?
We'll say she pulled it off. She's kind of holding a bunch of different assorted things in one hand and her mace in the other.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I wasn't listing full inventories. I was just kind of saying your stuff's in here. So we'll say that
my
she took
stuff-
the stuff that you can carry in your hands. She took out for you. So she's currently got it in her hands.
Okay. All right. Cool. Then.
So she is some distance away.
Cool. Yeah. All right. And then I pulled. Did I pull another weapon out of this crate over here?
Yeah, you pulled a spell book. You pulled a maul, which is kind of like a heavy hammer, and you
Okay.
pulled a boomerang.
Can I like lift the maul? Is or do I need a strength check for that?
It is just like a big chunk, but it is a martial weapon. I'm not sure if you have martial prowess.
Nah. I don't want to wield it. I just want to carry it.
Yeah, you can definitely carry it. Yeah, it's
Okay.
heavy, but you can definitely carry it.
Okay. All right. So I kind of heave that over my shoulder, and I turn to Leah and I'm like, do you think this belongs to that big fellow over there? Yeah.
I think he might be the only one strong of us to actually lift it. So yes.
Okay. And then I will. That is all of my movement. But I'll run over here, and I will.
The pikeman is gonna try to prod at you as you run past.
Yeah.
Because you are within his range. 'Cause
Yeah.
he does have a
leaving his
10-foot
thunder.
range.
Yeah. All right.
But he
Come at
misses.
me, bro. Yes. All right.
So you kind of feel the wind against your cheek as the spear goes a little bit wide and sprint on past.
Okay, yeah. So Anthena's running kind of clumsily, honestly, carrying this big ass hammer. But she runs and just kind of heaves it over and is like, "Is this yours?"
I look down at it and I just wrap my trunk around it and nod. And that's all you get at the moment because he's focused on combat. But yes,
Yeah, yeah.
he just wraps his trunk and nods.
All right, and she's like, "All right, awesome. Okay." And yeah, that's about all I can do for now. Am I allowed to like hide or use him as cover like a little bit?
Does it look like Anthena wants to hide?
I mean, not cowardly, but she would like to be out of maybe the firing range of this what I assume is a warlock over here.
If that's the case, then Kegox would use his large hand and then just like scoot her behind him, just slowly.
Wonderful, thank you.
We'll say that you taking the dodge action by doing this, Anthena. So enemies that are like shooting at you will have disadvantage. But if Kegox wants to like body block you, then we'll say if you still get hit, he'll take the damage for you.
I would do that. I would totally do that.
Aww.
Okay. So even with the disadvantage, if you still get hit, he'll take it for you.
Okay. Oh, so kind.
We're not gonna
healing
do
word
that
you
for
whenever
every
I
single
fight.
encounter on the planet, but for the first one, we'll bend some rules for some rule of cool.
All right. Yeah. Well, that's my turn then.
Very well. And that'll bring us to Kegox's turn.
Since I have my trunk wrapped around my maul, I look at the log that I have in my hand and I see the spellcaster floating over here. I'd like to throw this log like a caber, please. So I'm going to rage, and I'm going I let out this enormous trumpet, this deep bellowing trumpet from my trunk, and then I just throw the log like a caber.
Very well.
So what do I need to roll?
Well, you're +4 across the board, so we'll just say to hit it's a +4. So just roll any of those ranged weapons. We'll treat it like a javelin.
Okay. So,
But we'll change it from piercing to blunt.
That's fine. But I am going to mark off a rage, so let me. All right, let's go. A 21.
That'll hit.
So I put my big meaty palm at the base of the log and just huck it. And
Yeah.
The rest of you just see like just genuinely a tree trunk because they just felled a couple smaller trees to make this camp. So it is just genuinely a tree trunk. It just goes sailing across the clearing for like a moment in the silence of the night. Everybody just kind of turns to watch it sail through the air, and then it slams into the tunnel maze on the far side. So roll your damage.
okay, javelin damage. You said.
Yeah, we'll just do that, but we'll change it to bludgeoning.
Okay. 6 points.
With a sickening crunch, the tunnel mage is just crushed under the tree trunk, and you see his legs kind of twitch, sticking out from either side, and then fall still.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I love it. I love it. And I believe that's going to be my turn.
Very well. And that will bring us to this arbalist here, who's going to kind of move a little forward to get some better aim, and then he actually notices you, Leah, kind of lurking around the corner, and he spins quickly and fires a
Great.
quick shot from his crossbow.
Wonderful.
And he's going to hit you for 6 piercing, as you feel
Ouch.
a bolt kind of like carve right across your shoulder and open up a bleeding injury. That's all he's going to do, though. So that would have brought us to the tunnel maze, but the tunnel maze is currently occupied by a large tree trunk on top of him. So that actually brings us to your turn, Leo. You've got your spellbook back in your hands, feeling a little more arcane confidence. What do you do?
Just a little bit of arcane confidence. Let's not play it up too much.
Just a dash. A pinch.
just a little bit.
Sprinkle, if you will.
Okay. I want to use something that has a cone. Should I just measure it with my
Yeah, use the brand new Roll20 cone ruler.
Wow. Cone ruler.
And
I know.
Ooh.
Oh, I wish this guy was closer. Dang. It's okay. Actually, in that case, if they're not close enough, I'm not going to do that. Never mind. I want to stab the guy in front of me with an ice knife. So yeah, he is going to cast that. That is 25.
Alright, well, it is gonna hit.
Yeah,
Is that a crit? Yeah.
was a crit. Yay, crit.
First crit of the campaign.
Yay!
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yay!
Let's go.
All right, it's
Um,
gonna.
He did get a 15 on the save, so he won't take any damage past that. But
Okay. So should I still
that-
roll the?
Yeah, that did roll the crit damage, right? Is it?
Yes.
It did. Okay.
Yeah.
There's no one else in range, so it'll just be that damage.
Okay.
And this was. So he is sort of blasted by those icicles, and you see them kind of open up all these wounds across his face and hands, parts of him that are unarmored. He's bleeding. He's looking real bad. He's got ice kind of lodged into his stomach, though he is kind of like bracing himself on his pike to stay standing.
Okay. If I back up, am I still in like his range or no? Like, is he gonna attack me if I back up?
You are currently in his range, so if you back up,
Oh.
you'll be moving out of his range. He does have a 10-foot reach with his pike.
All right, never mind. Leah's gonna stay right where she is. That's the end of my turn.
Very well. That will bring us to his turn.
Oh, wonderful.
He kind of like limps forward a little bit and stabs at you with his pike. It's almost like a half stab, half stumble forward. But he misses you. Clearly a little off keel from that bleeding that he's doing. which will bring us to the fellow over here, who's going to just kind of continue to battle this guy. Stab at this guard and succeed and deal him 4 piercing, which is not enough to kill him. And thus that will bring us to Sarisa in the far corner,
Hoorah.
carrying a veritable smorgasbord of weapons in her hand.
Nice. Okay. How hurt is this guard here? Can
Pretty
I-
bad. He does kind of have like a spear sticking out of his side. It's not enough to knock him down and take him out of the action, but he is. You can see kind of blood pooling on the ground in the firelight.
Oh no. Okay, how far away? How far away is this? He's like 35 feet. How far can I move? Where can
On
I...
your character sheet, it'll tell you. Most characters do have 30 feet, and you do as
Oh,
well.
yeah, I see it. Okay, okay. And then my healing spell. Oh, I have to touch him.
Yeah, so you would have to get just a little further than you actually can, unfortunately.
Oh no. This guy's so dead, bro.
Me and my my
back?
actions, so I think
back?
that they're bad.
Oh,
We're back.
yeah.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. It's one of those nights where the internet disconnects. I don't think it splits the VOD, but that'll be nice. It's happened on a couple streams in this new location that I'm in. It's just unfortunate reality. I think there's not much I can do
Yeah.
bar rebooting the entire router, which I don't really want to do right now. So I think it's just gonna be one of those nights. It might happen again. If it does happen again, we're just gonna be right back in a minute. So just hold tight. We won't continue without you. As soon as I notice that it's disconnected, I'll pause. But it's just one of those things. So Sarisa, it is your turn, and as I was saying, you and Anthena would kind of like recognize you're holding a lot of extra weapons, and you would have turned around to see Anthena herself handing out weapons, and there would be sort of a connection in your brain there that perhaps the only person not holding weapons might be the owner of the ones you're currently holding.
Ooh, ooh, yeah. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna look at her. I'm gonna look at the guard. I'm gonna look at her again. And be like, scales, right? Because yeah, the guard was, he looked us up, but doesn't mean he's gotta die for it. That'd suck. So, does it take like a bonus action or an action to move?
Neither. It takes your movement. You have 30 feet of movement on your turn. That's just free. So you can use it in any way you want. You can split it up. You can use 5 of it and then do something and then use the rest of it later. You can use only half of it. But if you want to extend it to double, like if you want to move 60 feet instead of 30, like if you want to move any distance past that 30 feet, then you need to use your action to dash. So instead of being able to cast spells and attack on your turn, you'd be sort of sacrificing that extra stuff in order to move extra far, if that makes sense. So, yeah, but on your normal turn, when you're not dashing and stuff like that, you just have 30 feet of movement for free. So,
Okay. I think I'm playing. I, with shaky legs, I'm going to scamper over to Athena with her stuff and things in hands, I'm going to thrust them into her arms. Be like, to take it. These are yours, right?
Yes, yes. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, oh my gosh, yes. Thank you. And she'll grab them and I guess don them a little bit, but not obviously. I can't put on armor. Yeah. You can cast spells now, guys. So exciting.
Nice. Okay. And then I'm gonna turn my attention back to this poor dude. Not looking too good. How do I do this? I would like to invoke duplicity. Is that how I say it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that in your character sheet, right?
Yeah.
Will have a cost of its own, right?
Yeah. I think it's
for you, it's your action, right?
yeah, the channel divinity, right?
Yeah, so it's your channel divinity,
Okay, boop. I booped it.
and so you would use your action, which you haven't used yet, but it does use your action, just to remember that.
Yeah.
But that will let you make your illusion appear within 30 feet. So where do you want it?
Okay. So 30 feet. Oh, I could. Oh, that's a dead body. Never mind. I think maybe right behind. I can't put it here because that's 35.
Yeah, but you can put it kind of all the way up to
Oh, really?
even, yeah,
Oh, dude.
even that far.
Really?
But yeah, anywhere you want within that range.
Okay, not on top of the dead body, right? Because that'd be a little messed up.
Well, it would appear as if it's kind of standing over the crumpled corpse.
I forget. Do they have an advantage if I have my illusion next to them or no? I don't think so, right?
You have advantage on rolls against that creature that is standing next to.
Oh, okay. So that's.
And you can also channel your spells through it as if you were standing there.
Okay. This dude is gonna owe me one. If he, lives. But I would like to cast it right here.
Will you place it where you want it?
Oh, yeah, right here.
And we will give it a little illusion tint. So the rest of you just kind of see this sudden shimmer as another Sarisa is suddenly standing next to that guard.
Okay, can I say anything to the guard? Through my illusion? Is that a thing?
Actually, I don't know. I don't think it specifies anything like that, so I don't know that it can talk. But yeah, I don't think it says anything like that.
Okay, I can't talk. That's cool. Just making sure.
It's all my fault.
We're back. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. It's gonna be really annoying tonight. I can tell, but at least it's not lasting too long. Let's continue.
Yeah. Alright. So I don't have a bonus action. So if that guy dies, you can't say I didn't try.
You've done your best.
I've done my best.
All right. So if that's the end of your turn, then I believe that brings us to this guy who I didn't actually label, but there we go. So this last guy here is going to I think these two are sort of locked in combat. I think he's gonna kind of pivot around here. He's gonna shoot at you, Sarisa. But he misses with an absolutely pathetic 5.
Oof.
Which will bring us to this guard's turn. Who, though he's wounded, he's gonna continue to fight on. And
so
he's
brave.
going to hit that guard there. Or he's gonna hit that Crete pikeman there for another 5 slashing, which will kill that one. And he will end his turn and bring us to Anthena. Anthena, your weapons have been hastily thrust back into your hands.
Finally. Yes, I can cast spells now. Which spell to do? Let's see. I think rather than try to do anything too heroic, I am just gonna send a little healing word on over to Leah. Let's see how much it is. All right. Hey, that is 7.
Thank you.
Pulse over to you.
It's pretty good.
So
I'm topped
yeah,
up.
she just kind of dons her lyre and just strums it, and a lovely little little tune jaunts all on over to
Soothing
you.
melody.
And yeah, you feel invigorated. And I'm pretty comfortable with my position at the moment.
Got
So
the meat
I
shields
think
on either side.
yeah, hey, I mean,
If
think I-
if you want to move, you probably should, because I don't think I'm gonna stay there for much longer.
yeah, I'm sure that's totally fine. Let's see. Yeah, I guess I could maybe start working my way over to this guy. So I think I'll go like there probably. I would give you all bardics, but they're bonus actions, which I used for healing words. So next round, promise.
Understandable.
Very well.
Yeah, and let's see. I think that'll be my turn. Oh, I'm not sure because I know I used a bonus action. Is there any way I could look at these? I know this feels a little bit disrespectful, but try and peek at these corpses and see if they have a key for that other cell.
Yeah, make a quick investigation.
Okay.
That'll be a bit of a harder check because you're kind of busy, but an 18 will do it.
Yes.
You quickly kind of scan, and you do notice that the guard here does have like a loop of keys on his belt.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Could I grab that, or would that take an extra thing?
It would take an extra thing to grab it because it's sort of fastened to his belt rather than just picking it up off the ground. So
Even
you'd
if
have to kind
even
of-
if I
you'd
used
have to-
mage
you'd have
hand.
to-
Would that-
well, you just regardless would have to unfasten the belt, which would take an action.
Oh,
to do.
gotcha. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Then we'll chill for a minute. Okay, that's my turn.
Very well. Kgox.
Okay.
Uh,
Upon seeing Anthena move over towards that guard, and even though I'm in a state of reddened rage, I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to that guy.
Mhm.
And I am going to smash him in the face with my maul, please and thank you.
Go for it.
So let's go. Ah, that is a
Was that the first one?
yeah. That's our
Ooh.
first
Ooh.
one.
It always
I-
happens in the first combat. You always get a 1, you always get a 20. That's the way it goes.
But
We're getting out of the way.
we're getting him out of the way.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
no
you-
more for the rest of the campaign.
Yeah, you swing your heavy maul, and this kind of quick little Crete mole man skitters out of the way, and it kind of just hits the dirt heavy, and sends up a cloud of.
Its armor class isn't 5.
Dust.
That's
Yeah,
what do
it's
you
not
mean?
5. That's
Yeah.
lame. How lame
So
is that?
unfair.
No, I bring them all down, and as it misses him, I just like glare as deeply as I can into his tiny little soul,
Very well.
and I still want to like try to impose myself. I mean, between Anthena and I want to tie this guy up pretty much. Like I want
Yeah.
to keep him busy. So
Yeah,
that's my
he
turn.
is a ranged attacker with his crossbow, and you are standing right in front of him, so you definitely have his attention.
Good. That is my turn then.
Then that will bring us to this Crete arbalist over here, who has reloaded his crossbow and is going to. I think he's just going to take another pot shot at Leah. But Leah, your AC's 12, yeah? And you're not.
Yep.
You don't have any armor regardless, so it doesn't really matter if you're wearing your armor or not.
No, I don't. Thanks for the reminder.
So that'll miss you with a 10.
Oh,
the
yeah.
bolt goes wide. Maybe he's being a bit too cautious to avoid his comrade there. And he misses, which will bring us straight to your turn, Leo.
Yay. Okay. So, the guy in front of me looks kind of not great, right?
Nope.
Oh, hello.
Okay. I am going to. Ah. Okay. Well, I rolled for it. On accident. Don't look at that. I didn't mean to click that. I was just reading something. So do I have disadvantage on ranged stuff that's like up close, right?
Yeah, we have disadvantage on a ranged attack if you got a guy standing right in front of you.
Yikes. Okay. All right. I guess it's cone time. All right.
Cone time.
Can he make a Constitution saving throw, please, with a DC of 13?
He rolled a 12, so
Yay! All right, I'm coning him. I'm
Get coned.
I'm
banished
hitting
to
him
the
with
cone realm.
frost fingers. So that is gonna be 9 cold damage.
All right, that is going to just freeze him solid. As like the rest of you see like a cone of frost just kind of spread across the grass and spread this layer of ice across everything that covers this guy, freezes him solid, and he just kind of falls backward away from you, Leah. And when he hits the ground, he just shatters into 100 pieces.
Oh no! He's pieces. I didn't want that.
Pieces.
All right. I also kind of like where I am right now, so that's gonna be the end of my turn.
Very well. That'll skip us right past 2 dead Cretan warriors and straight to Cerese's turn.
Ooh. Ooh. Okay. I am alone.
Never
I'm-
alone when you can summon a clone of yourself.
It's true.
True. I got a couple options here. Oh, but my illusion is a concentration, right?
So technically you are concentrating, and when you are concentrating on stuff, it'll look like
Oh.
that on your token,
Oh.
so that little brain so that you remember. And concentration will drop if you get hit and fail the concentration save. Anytime you take damage, you make a concentration save, right?
Yeah.
But it'll also drop if you cast a new concentration spell.
Gotcha. Okay. Ooh. Let's see. How far away are these little... Okay. I look over at Leah see that Mora is donezo. Well, in pieces.
Yes, he's chunks right now,
He's,
but it's okay.
he's
He's
not
not only
getting back up
done, he
again.
Ooh. Yikes.
Yeah, it's okay.
Ugh. And I see there are 2 more problems still. Ooh. Let's see. Hey Grant, how do I cast Sacred Flame? Is that through my my
So yeah,
focus?
we're looking at your spell sheet, right? And you've got your focus in hand,
Yeah.
and you're ready to go. And
I'm ready
so,
to go.
Sacred Flame is a save spell, right? See how it says Dex 12 to the right of it?
Yeah.
That means that the enemy itself is rolling to save rather than you rolling to hit. So you point at which one you want, right? Is it the guy on the left or the guy on the right?
Okay. Cool. That is very hard to choose because she is terrified to draw any attention towards herself. Fun stuff. But
Well, the guy on the right is preoccupied. He's got a giant mammoth standing in front of him.
Yes.
yes. So I am going to point my focus at this little problem.
And then he will make his dex save,
Yeah.
which he rolled a 3 on and subsequently failed.
Nice.
So then you roll the damage to the right of the thing there.
Oh, so this one, right? Think.
Oh. Well,
Ooh.
Hunter's
Alright.
one's out now.
Numbers,
Get him
big
out.
numbers.
it's still damage. It's still damage.
Right? Maybe I was like too shaky still. I was like, burn! And it just goes, just like
Uh,
little boop.
He's probably only got 2 hit points, so half
Yeah.
of yeah.
I mean, Sacred Flame, Sacred Spark, same difference. It
Sacred
works.
Spike.
so yeah, he managed to kind of like avoid the brunt of that, but you did kind of singe his elbow a little bit with radiant light.
Oh, skills.
And he is relatively healthy, other than that burn that he's got in his arm.
His little boo boo. I gave him a boo boo.
Is there anything else you like to do?
How far away is this critter? After my sorry attempt that I bore witness to, I am going to scamper over here. Right behind Athena.
Very well.
And then... Oh, I can use my bonus action to move my twinsy over here.
Mhm.
Right?
Yep.
Booyah! I'm gonna move... Maybe... right here.
Very well.
Yeah.
Illusory Sarisa strides her way over to the other mole.
Charicent, as chat said.
All right. So that's the end of your turn.
Yeah.
And then that will bring us to this one's turn. Who is going to attempt to scamper back from you, Kegox, if you want to AOB.
Yes, I would. I would like to do everything in my power to smack this guy. 17.
17 does hit. Roll your damage.
For a total of 8 points of damage.
Oof. All right. Well, he turns to run, seeing that the battle's going poorly for his side, and you just cave in that little hat of his.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm playing whack-a-mole, literally. I just smack him down into the ground.
Just like a cartoon character, he just goes like a couple feet down into the earth. That's the
God.
I love it.
We've brutally murdered these people. One turned into pieces.
Listen, they attacked first.
Yeah, hey, not our fault.
They started it. They started
Yeah.
it. Not on us.
Which will bring us to this guy who is going to kind of spend his turn trying to patch up his stomach wound that he's got there. And that'll pass us back to Anthena.
Is he like preoccupied with that? Like he wouldn't notice if I did something?
He does seem pretty focused on staying alive right now. Correct?
Okay. First I'm gonna give a bardic to Kagox. So he just sees like I don't know, he's reminded of Anthena and her gratitude when he protected her, and
Aw.
you feel as though you could add a d6 perhaps to whatever roll through magic.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and then I will use my action, I guess, to try to get those keys off of that guard.
Very well. He's preoccupied. I'll have you make a sleight of hand, but he is preoccupied, so the DC will be lowered by the fact that he's very busy right now.
All right. Yeah. Oof, we got this. Oh, that's okay. Well, that's not good. It's a 7.
Yeah, with a 7, you're not quite sure if he noticed you, but you do get the belt off, and you are holding a ring of keys now.
Oh, sick. All right.
But as for whether or not he noticed you, with only a 7, you're not quite sure if he did.
No, it's fine. In that case, I am gonna let's see. Yeah, okay. I'll head up here and see if I can maybe draw the attention of this, or if he's gonna run away. I'm not sure. And yeah, I think that's my turn. Or I guess was grabbing the keys, that was my action.
Yeah,
Or,
so
like,
you still have your
getting them-
bonus
okay.
action.
Oh no, I bardic. So
Oh, right,
that's my-
correct, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Then,
okay,
yeah,
then that's my
that's
turn.
basically all you can do.
Yeah.
Which will bring us to Kagox, bolstered by the strum of an instrument. What do you do?
I feel emboldened, and I let out another trumpet from my trunk, and doot, I'm a scoot, and I'm gonna go up here, and I'm going to swing on this little fella.
Go for it.
I would like to use my bardic inspiration to add a d6 to that.
Yeah, go for it.
I doubt a 10 hits him.
10 does not hit him, unfortunately.
Okay. Wow. I still brandish myself in front of this guy. I'm missing the first swings, so it's like I'm not used to being out of the cage right now.
Yeah, stiff muscles.
Yeah, stiff muscles. That's what it is. That's what it is. But I'm gonna stay up on him. And can I make an intimidate check, or is that another action?
Typically I would, yeah, anytime like you're making like a roll in combat, I tend to have it cost an action.
Okay.
But you are standing right up in front of him. He is a ranged attacker, so you definitely have his attention. He's definitely not going to focus on Leo over you.
Okay, that's fair. Well, then I'm going to stay here and menace him. So that's my turn.
Very well. It is actually now his turn. Upon which he is just going to throw his crossbow onto the ground and yank out like a little dagger and try to stab you with it. But he doesn't hit you. You quickly dip to the side and dodge as he stabs with his dagger. And it is now Leo's turn.
All right. Okay, now I'm gonna use the thing that I accidentally rolled for last time. So I'm going to try and hit him with my chill touch. And that is that's an 8 to hit. So
Insufficient.
never mind.
The area near him is just a little sort of kind of cold.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
I'm very sorry, Kgox. You're gonna feel a little chill. Um,
It's
That's
fine.
it.
I'm used to it. I'm used to
can't
it.
do anything else. I'm just gonna stand here.
That'll bring us to Sarisa then.
Alright, cool. I'm gonna see that the rats are being dealt with, and our
Uh,
buddy over here is not doing so good, right? This fella?
Yeah, he's still pretty badly wounded. He's doing his best to patch it up, but you can see that the bandages he's wrapping are quickly kind of flushing with blood each time he wraps it.
Oof, that's not good. I'm gonna go make friends. And I'm gonna scamper over here. Right?
Mhm.
No questions asked. I would like to use Cure Wounds on this fella. Is that
Very
cool?
well. Yep.
Cool. Okay. And I just have to roll, right?
Yeah, there's no like roll to hit or resist healing spells. They just heal. So all you do is roll the hit points in that next to the spell there. You just click the roller, and that will roll to see how much you heal.
Cool. Okay, so I'm gonna, without any question, put my hands on his wound and cast Cure Wounds.
All right. So you heal him for 5 hit points. He doesn't actually have that many hit points in general. So you actually do heal him all the way back to almost full health. And so you see the wound kind of stitch and close itself as you remove your hand. And though he still is caked with a lot of blood, he is looking a lot better. He's no longer paling rapidly.
Nice. Oh, what should I say to him? I should say, trying to look smug, but my arms and legs are still kind of shaky. Fortuna smiles upon you, good sir.
He kind of looks down at the wound and looks back up at you, and you see that like kind of a genuine gratitude spread over his face as he just says, "Thank you kindly."
She's still like, she's trying to act all confident, but she's like a little leaf right now. Like, trembling. But of course.
Anything else?
There's still a fight going on, so I'm gonna have not myself, of course. No, that's crazy. I'm gonna have my illusion here camper on this way. Because I've totally been involved in this fight. So, yeah. And that's how I'm gonna end my turn.
Very well. That'll bring us to this guard who is still sort of flabbergasted by the sudden turnaround in his condition. And he kind of thanks you one last time and then begins to move to help, but really only gets about that far. Which will bring us to Anthena.
All right. Peeta is gonna move up to here. And she'll take out her rapier. She doesn't brandish it with much skill. She kind of holds it with 2 hands, even though it's not how you're supposed to hold rapier. And I believe we're like flanking him, right? So I can roll with advantage.
I mean, I don't use flank rules, but
Oh, you don't? Okay. All right. My apologies. All right, then regular attack. Okay. Please. Ooh, it does an 18 hit.
Ooh.
see, you don't need advantage. Yeah, that hits. So roll your damage.
All right. Okay, well, there it is. That's just 3.
All right. You sort of stab that guy in the back and open up an injury in his side. with your rapier. He's pretty badly wounded now, but he is just barely standing.
Yeah. She is able to successfully hit an opponent, but she does not know exactly where to strike them to actually do any damage. So that's
Ooh.
I feel like that's pretty accurate. All right, and I don't know whether to save my bardic set. I'll probably say I think we're about done with this. We've almost got
Just
this guy.
you're slightly quieter than everybody else, and I actually can't turn you up anymore, Gabby. So just make
Um,
sure that I don't know if you can move your mic closer to you or anything like that, or just enunciate a little bit more. I
Yeah.
just noticed that in terms of the levels, most of the time you're fine, but every once in a while you dip a little lower.
Oh, that's weird. Okay.
There you go. That's
Is that
perfect.
any
That's perfect.
better?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's perfect.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Anywho, that I believe will be my turn.
Very well. Okay, guys.
I think
Creature
I'm
before
gonna
you
stack
is on its last legs. What do you do?
him. I'm gonna swing my maul down. I don't want to bring it straight down for fear of hitting Anthena, but
Appreciate
I am going to swing it like a golf club and hopefully crack this guy. So let's.
Oh God.
Just
How
another
about
day
a
on the
21?
court.
Oh my
21
God.
hits.
Or a massive 9 damage.
Oh my.
You just swing it like a golf club and just smash him like across the clearing, and he just goes flying over the wagon, and you just hear a crash in the bushes as his body lands in the distance.
Ooh.
So as that happens, I still have my movement. I'm going to go pursue because I need to make sure that he's dead. So 5, 10, 15, 20. I'm gonna go like there.
Yeah, you pursue around and find where the body landed, and just see this little mole crumpled up in the bushes, clearly dead. And so as the rest of you kind of quickly look around, you see that there are no more attackers, and really only one guard left, as the clearing itself falls quiet.
Yeah, with no more attackers, I'm gonna drop my rage.
What's the situation with the guard? Is he like looking at us with some kind of like, intent on?
Is he like chill with us?
Yeah, we
Like, is he
did.
chill?
Sarissa saved his
As-
life, so.
As
I can make
as the clearing falls quiet again, you can see that he's still caked with blood. He's breathing hard, and he's still kind of glancing around, looking for more enemies, still clutching his sword. And then, as he realizes, kind of at the same time that you guys do, that there really aren't any more enemies, you see him kind of slow his breathing, and then just sort of warily look back at you guys the same way that you're looking at him. He's clearly realized that he's now absolutely outnumbered, and now that you all have your weapons back, he's in a bit of a tough spot. So he's actually silent, and he's just watching you guys a little warily. He hasn't put his sword away though.
I think Anthena kind of looks at him and just like kind of puts her hands up, like swings her leer behind her back and is like puts her hands up and just kind of like walks backwards a little bit this way.
You guys are out of combat, so you can move freely.
Okay. I walk up to the guard, still holding my maul in my hand, and I like slowly plodding closer and closer. And as I get,
he kind of like takes a step back away from you as you do, and goes, "All right, there, fella. Listen, I don't want any trouble. I'm well aware of what sort of situation I'm in."
I reach out and I put my hand on his shoulder as if to hold him in place. I lift my maul high above my head, and then I stow it over my shoulder and tell him that he fought well.
He stares at you for like almost a full minute, just dead silent. He fully expected that he was just about to head on up to heaven, but then he just kind of cracks into a grin and goes, "Fought pretty bloody well yourself. I really thought that was it for us, but whew. Damn Cretans. Show up out of nowhere. Ambush caravans like this all the time, but I didn't think they'd attack a prison caravan." It's not like we got all that many supplies anyway.
Well, we should count your dead.
He kind of nods and slowly turns towards the others and just goes, "Aye, yeah. Lost a couple buddies today. Listen, you lot. I know I'm a prison guard." He's kind of calling to the whole group here. "I know I'm a prison guard, and I know it's my job to hold you off, but... Well," he hooks a thumb towards Cerisa. "This one did save my life, and... Well, without you lot, I'd be dead to those cretins as well. So... How about we all just call it even, yeah? I didn't see what happened to you. Must have run off in the night when the cretins attacked." He just kind of winks at you, nods.
We'll call it even once they're buried. And then I just move to start picking up guards or the mole men. I don't know, but I figure that I can either bury the mole men where they lay. I'll let him handle his people.
Yeah, he will kind of get to work with the bodies. And just kind of begin to gather them up, dragging them together in the clearing as you work. But as for the others, while Kagox and the guard gather the bodies, Anthena and Leo, what are you guys up to?
I'm approaching this other cell over here, and I just want to see what's going on with the person that's in there. You said they were tied up, but are they looking at us? Are they awake? Like,
the first thing that you notice when you walk up to her, it was a bit hectic before, and you were kind of far away from her when you were on the caravans. But the first thing that you notice now that the din of combat has quieted, and now that you're getting a good look at her, is that she's not dressed the same as you guys. You guys are wearing kind of prisoners' rags that they put you in back in the jail cells from whence each of you came, as they stowed all of your actual gear in the trunks on the carriages. But this woman here, she is not wearing prisoner's rags at all. She is wearing just a full maid's uniform.
oh, interesting. And I mean, ooh. All right. I think I'm just gonna kind of like lean up against the bars, not like put my hand in or anything, but just kind of talk quietly to her, and just be like, hello.
She was sort of facing away from you as you walked up, and as you kind of bend down to talk to her, you notice that what she's actually doing is chewing on the ropes that bind her hands.
Oh, all
And
right.
she turns as you talk to her, and with her mouth still full of rope, goes, "Roo, roo, roo," and then realizes that she cannot be understood. Spits the rope back out again, and goes, "Did you not kill them all then?"
Yeah, I think so.
She looks past you and sees Kagox and the guard gathering up the dead, and goes, "You not friendly with that guard now?"
I wouldn't say friendly, more come to an understanding. We don't kill him. He doesn't report us. It seems fair.
Listen, seeing as how you lot are all free, and well, I'm still in a bit of a pickle here, you wouldn't mind just letting me out as well, would you?
I think Anthena will hold up the keys that she has, just kind of like smugly, and go to the front of the cage, and unlock it.
Yes, perfect. There's the spawn.
And ooh, me, Gabby knows this probably isn't something's coming. But anywho, Anthony will just be like, well, what's your name then?
I'm Camille. What's your name?
Anthena. It's very nice to meet you. And if she gets it unlocked, she'll try to help her with her rope.
Yeah, it takes you a couple tries to get the right key, but eventually you click the lock open and pull it off, and the gate to Camille's cell opens. And Camille herself is tied up kind of around her ankles, knees, and wrists with rope. But though she was struggling to chew the ropes off her wrists, she didn't make much progress, though a rapier like yours would make quick work of it, should you
Yeah.
choose to do so.
Yes, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, you cut her free, and she kind of rubs her wrists where there's sore red spots, and then proceeds to spit out a few more chunks of rope fiber. That doesn't bloody taste good.
I'm sure not. Why were you eating it?
Well, you all got so lucky with the... She just points at your cage. And well, I didn't get nearly as lucky as you lot. You gotta make your own luck sometimes, yeah?
All right, fair enough. Well, you're free now. And she'll kind of back up and give her space to get out.
Yeah, she crawls out of her cage. And then just leans back, stretches her arms up, and just does a full body stretch. Those cages were mighty uncomfortable.
They really are.
Could have at least given us some cushions. What trouble are we going to cause with cushions?
That's true. I mean, you can't do anything with a cushion.
Exactly my thoughts. As you look Camille up and down, she doesn't look particularly dangerous.
Yeah.
There doesn't really appear to be any reason to have tied her up quite so viciously.
Mm-hmm.
But you can make a perception check if you want.
Perception. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Oh, 7. Oh, I almost rolled well.
Yeah, to you she just looks like an ordinary maid.
All right.
Though she does. All right,
yeah.
we're back.
Oh.
As I said, we're disconnecting a little bit. Internet's bad this stream, so if you see us disconnect, we'll be back very shortly. Don't go anywhere. It usually comes back within a minute, so don't sweat it. Apologies for the technical difficulties, but it is what it is, and there's not a lot I can do about it tonight. So welcome back. So yeah, you look Camille up and down, but she strikes you to be an ordinary maid, but about as ordinary as a maid could possibly be in this situation, which is not very.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I think I'm just gonna kind of like start just, it's still like facing her like I'm, starting conversation, but just start walking a little bit closer towards like the fire and like, a centralized location. And she's just gonna, if she follows, she's gonna be like, so how in the world did you end up here?
Well, that's a bit of a long story, isn't it?
I mean, they always are.
Well, you get caught doing something you shouldn't have done, and then you get sent to jail for it.
Yeah.
But she just like looks the rest of you guys up and down and goes, "They gave you those fancy prison rags, but I guess I got sent straight from being arrested." She just looks her own uniform up and down.
Yeah, I mean, I know I've been kind of tossed around from place to place, so it's kind of why I've got this going on. Trust me, I'm normally a lot more fashionable. This is quite whorish, actually.
Well, they should be carrying your things on you, on the carriages. So, if you poke around a bit, your stuff should probably be here. They usually do carry things on them.
Yeah.
for logistical purposes, you know.
And so that would be probably like up here in this cart, right?
Yeah, you've got kind of all of your stuff. You can poke about the individual crates.
Okay, yeah. I think she'll do that. She'll give Camille like a little smile, and then head over and start poking through the crates.
Sarisa, as you're sort of paying respect to the dead, you just see someone kind of walk up beside you. And just kind of stare at you for a moment, not quite sure what you're doing. Are you talking to yourself? I said, are you talking to yourself?
Oh, no, I'm paying respects to the dead, of course.
Oh. I see.
Sadly, misfortune has taken them from this world.
Well, not all that unfortunate for us, she kind of mutters. From our perspective, this might be a really good turn of good luck.
Perhaps. That's the way fortune works, I suppose. Misfortune for those, poor fellows, and fortune for us.
I didn't mean to say that I wanted them to die or anything, she adds when she sees the guard kind of glance at her. Sorry if I put my foot in my mouth a little bit. It's not what I meant.
I
He
understand.
just grumbles to himself.
She'll turn to the guard and she say, I do, how you say, I do feel sorry, or how you say, my condolences, how you say that? Or,
Yeah,
yeah?
yeah, it is. It is a shame. These lads weren't bad folk. You know, job's a job. I'm sure you lot weren't happy about us hauling you off, but you gotta get paid somehow, yeah?
But of course. She'll kind of like take a second glance at, how do you say her name? Camille? Camille? And she'll say, I see that you're not all dressed up like the rest of us.
Yeah, well, they snatched me right out of... Well, that's a long story. But I was snatched up right from where I was working and didn't have a lot of time to change, and they just threw me right on the caravan. So, I suppose that's why I didn't get fancy change of clothes like yours. She just looks you up and down as you're wearing these very unflattering rags.
Yes. Very fancy, indeed.
I can help you poke about for your things, though. I was going to have a look in their belongings anyway. And then she just awkwardly kind of glances at the guard and goes, I mean, well, it's true, I was going to look. And the guard just kind of like glares at her for a moment and then just goes, fine, whatever. Do what you need to. And then resumes burying the dead.
Okay, so I think I remember I saw my stuff in here. In this crate.
Yeah, your stuff was
Yeah.
over here in this crate.
Yeah, my scale mail. So I'm gonna start making my way over. But maybe curiosity gets the best of me. I'm gonna see what she's up to.
Yeah, she's just like poking about with her foot. Just kind of opening the tent flap to take a peek inside to see what she can scrounge up. But as you walk over to her, she kind of turns towards you and just goes, "Oh, can I help you with something?"
Oh, nothing. Just curious as to what you may be looking for, if anything.
Well, nothing in particular, but I imagine we've got quite a journey ahead of us, so I just thought I'd take a look around. These folk probably have supplies on them, yeah?
I would suppose so.
As you're looking at her, make a perception check yourself.
Ooh. Perception. Oh, here it is. Perception. Oh.
Half a minute. But we're back. But it's definitely a unique issue. But yeah, so as Camille turns to face you, now that we're back, you notice that the side of her face, kind of down towards her chin and up her neck, as well as one of her hands, actually has some small scars on it. You can make a medicine check if you want.
Ooh, medicine check. Bam. Can I use my inspiration?
Yeah, you can to reroll.
Okay, so I just reroll, right?
Yeah, just roll again.
Alright. Now don't get any lower than that, please. I'll take that.
With a 14, and with your background, it's not as though you instantly know what they're from, but it occurs to you that you've seen injuries like this before. They're burns, but they're very specific burns. You recall a memory of perhaps when you were first learning to kind of be a cleric of your goddess, and you were learning your healing magic. You recall seeing a priest boiling bandages to disinfect them and spilled boiling water on himself, and you recall that his injuries looked pretty similar to this.
Ooh. The injuries are caused by boiling water? Or
That's
like
what
really-
That's what they look closest to you. And so they kind of splash down the left side of her face and on one of her arms.
Interesting.
But she kind of notices you staring and just goes, "Do I have something on my face? Probably a lot of dirt. We got dragged around quite a bit there."
Oh,
She just starts to wipe her face.
no, forgive me. I didn't mean to stare or anything. I just took notice of those injuries of yours.
Oh, yeah, these must have gotten too close to that tunnel mage there. He was tossing flame around like it was nothing. She sort of laughs it off.
Yes, I
That'll be all
suppose-
right. Don't worry about me.
If you say so. All
And
right.
she kind of steps off to continue searching for supplies. You see her kind of grabbing like their ration packs from their tents. Leah, what are you up to over in the corner?
Leah is really, really shittily doing a field autopsy on this rat. Like really bad. Like terribly bad. Like she's
Athena's
she's
just
really
watching you, and she thinks you're doing a great job.
she's really trying, but like she's trying to look at bones and it's not working because she's just doing such a really poor job. But she's taking notes nonetheless. But yeah, and you can kind of see her just kind of like muttering to herself, and like she's kind of writing in her spell book a little bit.
Very well.
She's kind of self-absorbed at the moment in what she's doing.
Anthena, you dig around in the crates up on the carriage, and you do find your own clothing, the clothing you were wearing when you were arrested originally, but also some clothing that you don't recognize that doesn't belong to you. You see sort of
Okay.
furs and dresses and other assorted clothing.
Okay. I'll grab it all, and then just kind of, I think, head back over kind of the fire and just lay out all the other stuff that's not mine just on these. Well, that one was thrown on these remaining like tree branches, just to see if anybody comes to collect them.
Oh yeah, you draped them out on the logs. The logs that are still there.
Yeah,
this one's gone,
not the
but,
whole one.
but yeah, you drape out the clothes for everybody to see, so that they can grab what belongs to them.
And then these are like tents, right? Like the over here, like these are
Yeah, they're kind of travelers' tents that they set up.
okay. All right, I think she'll probably poke inside one of them first to get changed and like get out of the horrible prisoner's clothes, but then also just to kind of look around and see what's inside.
Very well. Do you have an idea of what outfit that you changed into? What for the audience? For the
Oh,
others?
just kind of like a very like flowy sort of blouse, and then just a like I guess knee length green dress. You can see it like a little bit in the character token, but not that much. Just like a green dress that has like straps and kind of is like corseted around the waist. Yeah, just pretty simple. Very much what a like a bar maiden would kind of wear. Yeah.
Very well. Yeah, you change into your clothing and then poke around the tent a little bit. This tent has like a pack, a traveler's backpack, that is stocked up with some like hardtack and dried meats and stuff like that. Just rations for the road.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. I'll grab that and I'll bring it out. I think I won't like kind of hold on to it. I'll just kind of like plop it down next to the fire, and then see how how we begin to pack for the journey.
Very well. Yeah, Leah, you make your way back over to the fire, and you see that your own clothes have been laid out across one of the tree trunks for you.
Nice.
They're nice and toasty, like out of the fryer.
Aw, nice and warm. Wonderful.
So Sarisa, you grab your armor and your clothing, and kind of bundle up and pull it out of the pack as Camille helps you guys gather some of the supplies. The guards themselves do also have kind of a couple weapons tucked away. You find 2 daggers and a short sword in the tents. And the Crete themselves did have crossbows and pikes. So there are sort of assorted weapons lying around as well. But you guys spend the next kind of couple minutes gathering up supplies, as well as changing back into your clothes. Leah, what is your outfit?
So Leah's kind of wearing just like a simple, sort of like gown. It has like the sleeves up so that they're like out of the way. It's very plain. It kind of has like a little apron on the front of it, with like a bunch of. It's like a bronze kind of. It's
Okay.
kind of like weird and like lumpy and like chunky somehow. It's like really amateurish. It's not. You can tell like it might be a. Maybe.
All right, we're back. So Sarisa, you grab up your clothes too. You can give us a summary what that might look like.
Ooh, heck yeah. You don't suppose they like pawned off all of her gold and stuff, right?
No, everything that you guys had when you were arrested, so what you had in your inventory upon making the character, you regain from the crates. So while you were in the cell, you had literally nothing but prison rags on you, but you regain your stuff as you collect it back from the crates.
Okay, so she's from the desert, right? That's where that city that
Yeah,
I
from-
forgot the name
From
from.
the Dragon Sands in Halasatra, from the city of Halai.
Thank you. Holy crap! I'm gonna have to write that down. But yeah, she's got her gold like headdress with the little hornsies and the jewelry. So she's got more like deserty looking clothes. Like think of like the stuff they wore in Breath of the Wild, the Gerudo, basically. She's wearing pretty much stuff like that, but more with like scale mail, and it's pink and gold. And she put her hair up in her braid, and on the end of her braid, she's got like a snake rattle and stuff. I'm gonna draw all this eventually, I promise.
Looking forward to it.
But yeah, she's looking more comfortable now.
Very well. So, Kickox, as you finish burying the dead, you turn back to see what clothes you did have your new possession laid out for you on the log.
Okay. I make my way over, and you mentioned that they had pulled furs and whatnot out of some of these boxes.
Yeah, well, I was just trying to estimate what you might have. You tell me.
Yeah, yes, that's essentially what he has. There's this large, looks to be like a feline like pelt. It's white, but it was probably white once until it's seen a bunch of age. And as he picks it up, he just kind of like drapes it around himself. The mane of the large cat covers up one thigh, and like the paw covers up the other. But the look of this thing looks to be not entirely just feline. It's actually the pelt of a manticore that he has around his waist. His body is on the visible portions of skin not covered by this coal black fur, or is like ashen gray skin, and covered with scars. His tusks have runes and whatnot, either painted or carved into them. And he doesn't carry much. His only possessions are like his pelt around his waist, his boomerang, which he just kind of tucks into that, and his maul, which he just kind of slings over his shoulder and held by like a leather cord. But as he gets dressed, modesty was not his big issue at the time. He's like, everybody else can run around in rags, and he didn't mind. But he just calmly gets dressed.
Very well. Leah, your background is scholar, yeah?
That's a great question. Let me check really, really fast.
You're scholar researcher, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And you do dabble in history, yeah?
I do. I do dabble.
Can you make a history roll for me?
I sure can. Oh man, I got an 8. Boo.
Aww.
Don't ignore the second one. See, that would have been better. That would have
Can
been.
we use the second one?
Yeah, can we use the second one, please? I misclicked the first one. Can we use the second roll instead?
Something sits in the back of your head about the pelts that Kegox is wearing, but you're not quite sure why it seems interesting to you. There's just something in the back of your head that's just like kind of gnawing at you, but you're not able to place it.
I will ask him about that later.
But yeah, so you change back into your clothing, gather up a whole bunch of supplies, bury the dead, and as you all kind of regroup back in the center of this clearing, there's sort of an awkward pause in the air as the guard kind of joins you, and just goes, "Look, as I said, I didn't see a thing. You lot somehow managed to get out when the Creed attacked, and you fled, all right? I can't pardon you for whatever crimes you've committed, but as far as I'm concerned, for today, we're even, yeah?"
What is your name?
Me? Ed. Why?
It's good to know honorable warriors by their names.
Well, thanks, I suppose. But I need to pack some of this stuff up, and I do need to take the wagon onto the prison and report what happened and report the dead and, well, bring these belongings back to the families and all that. So I'll need to pack up here, but you lot should get running just in case someone else comes along. You can have our rations. I'll only need to eat for one now.
Aw.
And he kind of stumbles off to go begin packing up some of the tents so that he can get on the road. And Camille, kind of, you see her glance towards each of you and pause and think for a moment as if she wants to say something, and she's sort of teetering on the verge of having it kind of tumble out of her mouth. And then she says, listen, you lot, we're all on the run now, yeah?
Looks that way.
And you lot will need a place to sort of lay low, if you will.
Would be helpful.
Would you like to come along with me?
I think Athena like lights up because she's like, oh my gosh, like friends. And she's just like, yeah, absolutely.
We know a place that we can lay low in one of the big cities, Marinhall. And, well, if you decide so once we get there, I might actually have a job for you lot. You see, like, gears kind of actively turning in her head as she stares at the ground and rubs her chin.
Can I message her?
Yeah, if you want
And
to.
yeah, I mean, she doesn't need the spell. If I open the communication, she can talk back to me.
Mhm.
And it'll just be like, is there anything that you're not saying that you want to say?
You see her just, like, kind of jump, startled by the fact that you're doing that at all.
Yeah, and Athena's just like
though-
looking at her, like smiling slightly.
Yeah, she just, like, jumps and then looks around, then recognizes that it's your voice, looks at you, and then you see her just kind of actively in her head, those gears turn again as she realizes what's happening and that you're speaking directly into her head and that she didn't just see you perform some weird ventriloquism. And then in your head, she echoes back, just, this is how this works, eh? So you can hear me, yeah?
Yeah.
It's not that I'm hiding anything. Please don't think that. It's just that, well, you never know who you can trust. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, I got to be a little honest. I don't know these people at all. I've been kind of in the same prisoner carriage as them, but you know, but they seem nice enough. They helped fight in battle, so I'm kind of I'm all in, you know.
She responds, you all certainly seem to fight quite well alongside each other. Well, that's why I thought perhaps we might all get along.
I think so.
She brightens up when you say, I think so. And then just out loud says, good, I'm glad. Just, and there's no context for it for the rest of everybody.
Are you feeling all right?
Oh, well, perhaps I got rattled around in that cage a little bit too much. I think a little stretch of my legs will do me some good. Shall we get on the road? I'd like to make it to Marinhall before morning when all the people are crowding the streets.
Well, I
I think
suppose.
it is.
Oh, sorry.
No,
Go
no, you go ahead.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Well, I suppose I have no other plans, so Marinhall sounds like a good spot.
She brightens up at you as well and smiles and says, "Perfect. I can lead the way. I think I know the route from here. I was watching the
Dina's
road
gonna
they
kinda
took us
stand
by."
up. And she's gonna be like, well, now, before we get going, we have one kind of big thing to do. And she's gonna give a suspenseful pause, and she's like, we haven't introduced ourselves yet. I don't even know your names.
Yes, you're right.
Well, I know your name, but everybody else. And I think after hearing a pause, she's like, okay, I'll go first. My name's Anthena. It's very lovely to meet you guys. You can call me Thena if you want, but you don't have to.
We're back. We're back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Camille says, I guess I'll go next then. My name's Camille Riverrun. I'm from Middlemere, and I work as a maid. She just kind of like twirls her dress slightly. And then just trails off and looks at you, Leah.
Well, my name's Leah. Leah Ifelkir. I'm from Marin Hall, which I was hoping I wouldn't have to go back to, but it's all right. And I work with dead bodies.
Oh.
What do you mean work with?
Yeah, in what way?
She just points. She points at the clearing. You mean like this work with?
Not particularly. I study skeletons mostly. A variety of very dead old things. My father actually taught me all that I needed to know about them. But I study mostly marine animals.
Well, I suppose
didn't
Marinhall
even-
is the perfect city for you then.
It is.
Does Marin Hall have a lot of marine animals? I've never been there.
It's on the water, so
He'll nods. Everybody turns to stare at Sarisa.
Yeah.
Oh, she like glances around. She's like, oh, it is my turn. My name is Sarisa. I am an agent of the Grand Ditra, flame tender of. Hey, Granny, what's the place's? What?
Urhalai.
Urhalai. It's a pleasure to meet all of you.
You're all the way from Halasatra. It's quite some distance. What are you doing all this way north?
You know, she's like thinking back. I'm on a mission for the lovely Lady Ditra of sorts.
A mission? What kind of mission?
Listen, we've all got our secrets. I don't want to cry if you don't want us to.
But of course, it's a top secret mission of sorts. I'm sure
Oh.
you guys all understand.
Camille nods. And then she looks at Kegox. What about you, big fella? Whereabouts are you from?
I am from north, and I rattle off a name that they probably don't know because it would have been called something different to me. I don't know what the equivalent would be there, Gran.
Yeah. You can just use just say that vaguely then. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you rattle that off, and Camille just kind of stares blankly at you and just goes, north, like past Ostagrave, like beyond the Midnight Vale, you mean? Like, you saying you're from the Stormlands?
yes. And then I describe my territory. It's cold, it's icy, it's frigid, inhospitable to most others, and that probably describes the Stormlands.
It certainly sounds like the Stormlands to me. It's not often that you see a Stormlander this far south, though. Nice to meet you.
I am Kegox of Clan Stormhide.
I'm Camille, not really from a clan, but I guess my last name is technically Riverrun. Does that count?
Clan Riverrun. Understood.
Well, suppose that has a nice ring to it. Well, I'm not sure that's the intention when they gave it to me. Well then, if we're all acquainted, then shall we get going? Like I said, I want to get there before dawn.
Yeah, that's fine by me.
Perfect. I can lead the way. And she kind of quickly begins to saunter off towards the road where they kind of looped into this clearing from.
Anthena's very jauntily walking behind her. She appears to be like very excited to be going on an adventure.
Cerisa, what are you up to? Hello, Cerisa? You're muted, in case you...
Whoops! My bad. My dog was barking. My bad.
Yeah, that's fine.
My bad.
Yeah, as you kind of begin to follow the others, do you pause here?
Yeah, I feel bad for Ed, man. You know, we get to all travel together, but he's kind of by himself now. I think all of his friends are dead.
Sure.
You know.
Maybe he's got a couple more friends back at the prison.
Maybe.
We could dig the ones up and see if they're still kicking. Or
I could try really hard to make them not dead.
I don't know if Ed would like that. So, Sarisa just wants to have some final parting words for him. She feels bad.
He's packing up the camp, but he pauses as you walk up next to him and just goes, "Let it out then?"
Yes, we are.
Yeah, all right then. Like I said, I didn't see what direction you went.
Much appreciated. Ed, was it?
Yeah, that's my name.
Well, again, I'm sorry for what happened to your friends.
Yeah, so am I.
And I hope the trip back will be safe. May fortune smile upon you.
Thank you kindly, and well, wherever you lot are headed, I wish you luck there too.
Thanks. Well, safe travel.
You too.
And then she scampers to catch up with everybody.
Very well. So Camille, rather pluckily, kind of dances off into the forest with you guys following along behind. And she leads you back towards the road. And begins to wander along it. Now it's still late at night for you guys. Kind of just past midnight, and so you walk through the forest in the dark. With only the hooting of owls to keep you company.
Ooh, spooky.
And Camille just sort of happily wanders on ahead of you guys. Not far enough that you lose track of her. But she does seem like she's moving quickly, as she did say she wants to get there before dawn. And so she just sort of every once in a while pauses a little bit to make sure you guys are keeping up, and then hurries on off down the road again to scout the area ahead. And so as you guys walk, you walk for about an hour and then come across a little stream that crosses the road.
Ooh.
What's this over here? Is that like a statue of some kind?
Yeah, as you walk along, approaching the bridge that spans the gap of the stream, you notice off to your left, along the side of the road, there's a little roadside shrine nestled against a tree. It looks to be made from stone, but unless you get a little closer, it's not the easiest to make out what exactly it is.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think I'll get a little closer, just a little bit.
Camille notices that you guys sort of pause and just sort of stands there to wait. She takes a little bit of a closer walk towards you. But as you approach the little roadside shrine, you see that it's this kind of little, almost stone pagoda kind of shape, where a statue of a girl is sort of nestled within it. The girl herself is wearing this kind of long, flowing dress that almost looks like it's carved to look like the dress is kind of dispersing and floating in water. It's really just like a very elegant and intricate work of carving of stonemasonry here. But the other feature that you notice very prominently is that the girl's hair at first just looks a little off when you walk up, like maybe the sculptor didn't do quite a very good job. But as you get a little closer, you realize that her hair is actually made from seaweed.
Ooh.
You can see little offerings kind of placed at the base of the shrine.
Ooh. What kind of offer?
You can see some candles that are no longer lit, that are just kind of nestled against the base near the feet of the statue. You can also see what appear to be little flowers that are somewhat dried from age. And as you take a look at them and then look at the stream, you can see that they are flowers from the lily pads in the stream.
Ooh.
Cox, you dip your trunk into the water and get a drink and splash some water on yourself. as you said in the chat.
Oh. So we connect the dots that the flowers on the offered to the statue are from the stream, right?
Yeah, they're identical flowers. They're just a little dried, so they've lost a bit of color.
Cerisa might say out loud, that won't do. She's gonna scamper over and try to get some flowers.
You reach down into the stream and pluck one of the lilies from their pad.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna scamper back over and offer the flower to the statue.
Yeah, you place it nestled in with the others at the feet of the statue, and for just the briefest of moments, Cerisa, so brief that you kind of not sure if you just imagined it. For just the tiniest moment, you feel like you could swim the entire ocean if you had to, and then the feeling is gone.
Ooh. Yeah, that was weird.
I think I'll walk over to Camille and I'll just be like, who's that shrine to?
It was a shrine to Seneschal, of course, the goddess of the ocean.
Oh.
They build them next to bodies of water for worshippers to, well, present their offerings. She just kind of motions to what Cerisa was doing.
Are there a lot of her worshippers around here?
Well, you will tend to find quite a few followers of Seneschal anytime you go near the ocean, and, well, we are headed to Marenhall, which is one of the biggest port cities in the continent.
There we go. That statue is looking a little lonely.
It
Camille
looks
just kind of
much better
nods.
now.
Shall we get
What's the
back on the
state of
road
this
then?
bridge? Does it look rickety or does it look very sturdy?
It actually looks pretty sturdy. It seems like it's a pretty well-traveled road, though you haven't run across anyone in the night. But it's a pretty sturdy stonework bridge.
I was about to ask how deep does the water look?
For you, Kigox, it would get maybe just up to your belt, not
Up to
any
my
higher.
belt. Okay, I just walk straight across it.
There's a bridge. If you want to, no, okay.
Camille just stares at you, Kigox, and then just kind of shrugs and goes, "Each their own, I guess. I wouldn't want to walk along the path in wet trousers, but suit yourself." So you continue to walk along after crossing the stream, and the road begins to fork kind of south a little bit, taking you down toward the ocean. In fact, as you walk for another 2 hours straight, looping along this road. But towards the end of the second hour, you begin to hear this kind of roar in the distance that starts off just ever so quiet and then slowly grows louder and louder. And then suddenly the road kind of crests a hill, and you see that you are now walking along a cliffside. And as you sort of crest that cliffside and travel along the road next to the ocean, you actually see that the sun is beginning to sort of stream through the high branches of the trees. And so at sunrise, you walk along the cliffside.
Wow.
And so as you look off the cliff, it is quite a far drop down, Sarisa. And you can see some relatively violent waves crashing up against the cliff face at the very bottom. But the ocean itself stretches on just forever past that.
Whoa. Would this be my first time seeing the ocean?
Probably not. Urhalai is fairly close to the coast, so any small amount of traveling would probably be visiting at least one coastal town or something like that. So I think you've probably seen the ocean before.
Oh, okay, cool. It's always spooky. She's gonna run back over.
But actually, as you're looking off, kind of down the cliff and then off into the ocean, you can make a perception check as well if you want.
Oh, really? Okay, perception. Well, bam. Wow.
It's water.
Wow.
It is.
That's a far drop. No thanks. So, do I see anything other than that's water?
There's definitely a lot of churning water down there. That's for sure. You wouldn't want to fall.
No. I get a little spooked and I run back over.
As you guys are kind of continuing to walk along the road, Camille suddenly sort of strays from the path and makes her way over towards the cliff. And she just stands at the edge of the cliff and kind of looks off for a moment, stretching, and her dress kind of fluttering in the sea breeze. and then she kind of looks off into the distance, kind of looking a little bit more east than you were, Sarisa. And you see her kind of raise one hand to shield the rising sun from her eyes, and then says, "Can you see it? Just there, on the horizon." And she points, and the rest of you look and kind of squint and see these sort of white little dots along the coastline. And she goes, "That's it. That's Marinhall."
Well, I can't see much of it now, but I imagine it'll be quite beautiful when we get there.
Lee and Anthony, you guys can make perceptions as well.
Oh. Please.
Word.
18.
14.
And Anthena, you are looking out at where Camille's pointing, and then you kind of look down just to see how far down it drops, and you kind of feel your stomach lurch a little bit from the height. But as you look down, you actually notice that as the waves are chopping something up, there's actually something down there in the water, just kind of nestled up against the rocks.
Does anyone else see that?
It's hard to see what it is, but it looks like some sort of perhaps crate or box, kind of being crashed upon by waves.
Do I think there's any way that I could get that? Like, I don't know. It's not attached to, like, any, like, rope or anything, is it?
No, but it's also not fastened down there. It's just kind of being washed up against by some heavy waves.
About how far down is it? Like, how far down is the cliff or the water?
We'll say it's about maybe a bit over 30 feet down.
Over
a
30
decent,
feet?
yeah, it's a decent fall, but not like an absurd drop. You might survive it if you fell, but you wouldn't be happy about it.
Yeah. Does anyone else see that crate down there? Or am I going crazy?
Camille squints. I don't see it.
I know you said... is there any way that I could, like, mage hand it? Or, like, is there, like... Because I know mage hand's, what, only, like, 5 pounds or something?
Can we
Or, like-
dual mage hand it? Can we also use
Double mage hand! Stack
Double
the
mage hand. Yeah.
Well, it is a little difficult to estimate exactly how much it weighs, but you could try. You could try to double mage hand.
I think I look over at Leah. I'm like, you know that like hand thing that that you had earlier. What if we like both tried to lift it?
I think that might work. Do you want to try?
Yeah.
All right. Let's do it.
I don't think this will work, but we'll try it.
Double mage hand.
Yeah, so you guys cast Mage Hand and summon the spectral hands. In order to get the amount of distance that you need, you have to kind of like lie down
Yeah.
on the edge of the cliff and kind of like hang off of it a little bit. So it's a little precarious, the position that you need to stand to do this, but you do manage to get the hands far enough. And you feel them, kind of guide them to grasp one side of the crate each. And as you kind of feel around with the mage hand, you notice that it actually has handles on either side. It's actually a chest.
Oh.
And then with a glance at each other, you just kind of give a small nod and both pull.
Mm-hmm.
And the chest is lighter than 10 pounds.
Yes.
Yay!
OMG. All
Our
right,
hands
yeah.
are so powerful.
All right. Well, yeah, we pull that baby up here.
Yeah, get that chest.
Yeah, it kind of slowly floats up further and further. And eventually you raise it up a little bit over your heads and then back over onto the cliff safely up atop and next to you guys. And now we'll use this. The chest now
Leah
sits
is
on-
gonna want a mage hand high five after
Oh,
this.
absolutely. I was just about
Yeah,
to say, yeah.
yeah.
And Theta puts up her mage hand for a mage hand high five. Of
Yeah.
course.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And I'm gonna investigate or go pop open this chest if it'll let me.
Chest time, chest time.
It has like a rusty looking like fastener. It's not a lock, but it kind of keeps it shut. And so you have to kind of work at that a little bit because it is a little bit rusty from the water, and so it does
Could
take
I
you a
break
second
it?
to. Yeah, if you want to, Giga.
Okay. I'm gonna make a strength check to just kind of like grab it and break it.
You go for it.
14.
Oh yeah, with a 14, you just sort of like grip the chest with two hands and just crack, and the fastener just splits off and kind of flings out into the grass, and the chest is now open.
Yay. Great work, guys.
Teamwork.
What's inside the chest?
So the first thing that you notice is that it is decently waterlogged. And so at first you kind of worry that perhaps the contents of the chest are ruined, but as you kind of turn stuff over, you find a rather waterlogged leather pouch, kind of tucked into the corner, that has something kind of heavy jingle in it, as well as a sealed glass bottle. That is actually sealed with like cork and wax. But from what you gather, Anthena, it does just appear to be a bottle of elven wine, from what you can see. As someone familiar with alcohols served to people.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll just tuck that away.
And the last thing that's in this waterlogged chest is a folded piece of paper that just appears to be completely untouched by the water entirely. As if it never touched water at all. Leah and Anthena, you guys can make Arcana.
Oh, that's so bad. 5.
Got a 21.
Yay!
Leah, you are perhaps maybe familiar with that little charm. Maybe you've done it yourself to keep some notes safe. There's a little charm placed on the paper to ensure that its legibility is not damaged by water.
How fun.
And the note reads as follows. I'm just going to pull it up here. The note reads as follows. Did that pop up?
Yeah.
Perfect. The note reads, Harold, you absolute cur. I dearly hope you found this chest because then you'll know just how much I hate you. To not only walk in on you with another woman, but to walk in on you with my own sister. The nerve. You're lucky it's just your belongings I'm tossing to the deep and not your body. A curse on you and the whole Hathlander family. Good riddance, Esmeralda.
Bravo.
Oh my gosh. Her sister?
Wow. He
The
has a tongue.
waterlogged pouch, if you pull the drawstrings back, to open it, contains 15 gold pieces, as well as a wedding ring.
Oh. Ooh. Okay. I don't know who do we want to say grab the bag? I know
You
we're
guys.
all kind of sworn. Yeah. If you let Anthena take it, she'll split the, what'd you say, 15 gold? She'll give
Yep.
three gold to each person.
Very well.
And yeah.
I
And
look at
kind
the
of-
gold confused. And then I hand it back to Anthena.
Listen, if he
Oh,
doesn't want it,
no.
I'll have it.
Well, I mean, you sure you don't want it? It's pretty helpful. It's it's gold. Use it to buy stuff.
And
Huh?
he's confused and he just hands it back to Anthena.
Well, all right. And then she'll give it to Camille.
Camille tucks it into the kind of like apron pocket of her dress.
I'm gonna hold on to this wedding ring for right now, but it belongs to the collective. Might be useful if we can find this horrible man. I mean, our own sister. That's too much.
So it seems like there might be a whole drama-filled family, what with her sister throwing his belongings off the edge of a cliff.
I agree with her. She should just thrown his body off the cliff.
Oh, but if she throws his body off a cliff, then who's going to examine it after his death? What are you going to learn?
There's nothing to learn from a guy like that.
I don't know. Maybe he had some sort of disease that made him like sisters.
Such a thing exists.
So that exists.
You don't know, so that's why you've got to find out.
I suppose it's possible.
Some weird, like, sickness. I don't know. Maybe
It could be a sickness. It could be. I'll look into it. And she writes it on her notebook.
Anyways, shall we get moving? Sun's almost up now, and I'd rather like to beat the crowd. We're almost there.
Anthena nods and heads on. Although she realizes Camille needs to lead, so she's like, oh, never mind.
This Marin Hall, is this a colony or?
Well, I suppose that's not inaccurate, but we just call it a city.
So it is a settlement.
Yes.
Kagox just nods.
It is most likely quite larger than most of the settlements you're used to, Kagox. So, just fair warning, I suppose.
He nods again.
So Camille leads you guys along that road along the cliffside, and soon you approach the city itself. You can see these sort of stacked, tiered stairs of limestone buildings that stretch up into the bay of the Marin Sea, where Marin Hall is located. And interspersed, kind of peppered throughout these white limestone buildings, you can see these turning windmills stretching high up over the city. And just off in the distance from where you're standing, as you approach the city proper and see kind of the road that leads into town, you can see these gleaming blue lights on the windmills. They kind of twinkle in the sunrise light. And Camille leads you guys into Marin Hall. You're led across a bridge to even enter town. As you enter sort of the southwestern end of the city. And you enter by this long bridge that leads you towards a square where one of these towering windmills creaks along in the sea breeze with skulls kind of resting high up, lazily floating on the wind. And as you arrive in Windmill Square. You see Camille sort of take a deep breath in, clearly enjoying being back in Marinhall. Ugh, feels like ages since I've been here. It really hasn't been that long, though.
Exactly how long has it been?
Well, I lost a little bit of track on the road there, but well, maybe about a month. They did take us around on that caravan for quite a while.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine that much has changed, yes? Still the same old Marinhall. She sort of catches herself in just enjoying the atmosphere. As you can see that there are a couple people kind of moving about throughout the city street, making their way along the bridges and off towards markets to get an early start. As it's now about maybe kind of 5 or 6 in the morning, just after dawn.
Ooh.
But as Camille catches herself kind of losing herself in the atmosphere, she turns back towards you all and goes, right, sorry, we probably shouldn't linger. What with, you know, the whole fugitive status and all that.
Yeah, do we need to be on the lookout for, I mean, anybody? I've never been a fugitive before, so...
I think we'll be alright for the time being. Unless, of course, any of you got arrested in Marinhall.
Anthena looks to Leah.
Oh, yes, about that. Oh, I did in fact get arrested here, so...
Well, I'd steer clear of any city guards that you see. I also did get arrested here, so I'm going to lie low for the time being, but we'll talk about it in the Quipper. She just kind of hooks her head to follow. Well, I suppose you're not familiar with it. You might be, Leah, but we're headed to the Tipsy Quipper. It's a little tavern in the stilts. Follow me. And she hurries off along one of the bridges that wind their way through these canals that make up the southwestern portion of Marinhall. You travel past a kobold and her little child hawking fish in Windmill Square, and off down into a section of the city called the Stilts. Leah, you'd be a bit familiar with it, even though it is a big city, and perhaps you're not familiar with every location within it. You would have heard of the Stilts at least. The Stilts is a section kind of towards the harbors, kind of along the coast, where all of the buildings are nestled onto these kind of towering platforms that are connected by the canals, and boats kind of weave their way in between them below. You can see the kind of the seawall on Windmill Square here stretch off down into the ocean. And Camille winds you guys around through the streets until you arrive in front of a building. Actually, let's make sure we're copied.
Oh my gosh, the seagull tokens are so cute.
I saw the seagulls too. I was like, oh my god, little birdies.
And so you make your way along through the stilts, and Camille darts her way over towards a staircase and makes her way up it, headed towards a building here. You can hear gulls crying out as they nest up on top of the roof. But as you approach the door, you can see that this is a little bit of a ramshackle building, not in its newest condition, not in the best state of repair. But atop, high above the door, there is this kind of worn bronze figurehead from a pirate ship. That has been kind of tacked up there, and neatly below it is a wooden sign that is carved with the text, "The Tipsy Quipper." And Camille, just without looking back to see if you guys are following, makes her way inside.
I go in.
You follow Camille into the doors of the Tipsy Quipper and find yourselves in a tavern floor.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, is that a bird with a hat? That's
So
exciting.
upon entering, you find yourselves in a tavern floor that matches the state of disrepair of the outside. It's not disgusting inside, but it is a little old and a little worse for wear. And so as you enter and look around, you can see that this is very much a harbor tavern, a pirate tavern, if you will. You can see that half the building appears to have perhaps been made from sort of repurposed, refashioned ship pieces. You can see kind of the wood of a bulkhead making up part of the wall. You can even see a cannon lying in the corner. But upon entering, you almost run straight into Camille, who has been stopped at the door by a very tall woman. She's almost 7 feet tall. And she just kind of looks down at Camille. Camille herself is not particularly tall. She's only about 5'5" or so. And the woman just goes, "Back so soon, Camille? Who have you brought along with you?" And she looks past Camille to look at you four. "These new friends of yours, Camille?" And Camille just nods and goes, "They're helping me with a thing. Not to worry." The woman just kind of frowns a little bit at Camille, and then looks at the four of you and just goes, "You're not getting Camille here into any trouble, are you?"
Only the good kind.
She chuckles at that. "Well, all right. It is good to have you back, Camille. We did miss you, even if we complain a lot about your presence here. We did miss you." And she just kind of gives Camille a strong pat on the back that just almost knocks her over. And she stumbles forward. And beyond the woman, you can see a few other figures in the tavern. Though there don't appear to be too many patrons, it is 6 in the morning. There is on a stool by the fire, lazily playing a little tune on a lute, is an Arakokra man whose plumage sort of resembles a macaw parrot. And he just watches you guys as you enter, just kind of plucking away at the strings, not particularly playing any sort of song, just kind of lazily plucking away however whim takes him. Beyond him, you can see a short little halfling girl, struggling a little bit to see over the counter, but wearing a chef's uniform and these large round glasses. There is, however, one patron in the tavern, though it is quite empty. One person sits alone at a table, kind of grumbling into her food. But as you're welcomed inside, and the rather tall woman kind of steps out of the way to let you guys file into the tavern, she greets you all with like a hearty handshake. For most of you, other than perhaps Kagox, her hand like almost completely wraps around yours. And she says, "Well, it's nice to meet you all. Are you going to stay here at the tavern? It's been a while since we've had quite so many patrons." She chuckles, and you see her just quickly glance back at the Arakokra, who just chuckles to himself as well. And she says, "I'm Lily. Well, they call me Killer Lily around here, but I'm harmless, I promise. Well, so long as you don't cause trouble."
Anthea will accept her handshake and then kind of like
curtsy a little bit, just kind of, bring out her dress, and she's like, "Oh, my name's Anthena. Very nice to meet you."
She shakes your hand and moves on to the next person to kind of introduce herself to each of you. And after she's kind of introduced herself and steps back, Camila goes, "Listen, they always have empty rooms here," and you just hear Lily just roll her eyes and kind of groan. And Camila goes, "It's true. They always have empty rooms here, and so you're welcome to stay here for a while and lay low. I imagine you all might be a little bit hungry. I'm a little peckish myself, but I'm going to go and put my things upstairs. You can meet me in the attic when you're ready." And she hurries off towards the stairs unless you have anything to say to her.
No, I would like to make a perception check to sniff out food.
Very well. It won't be a very hard one. Even with so low a roll as a 6, it is very apparent that there is food cooking, and the chef is hard at work, so it would not be too hard to sniff out food in here.
Yeah, I immediately go towards the smell. And I guess I stand at the bar or the table.
Yeah, there's a
And-
long bar there with some stools, but
I don't know
you
if
have
that
to use
stool's gonna hold me. I'm 400 pounds.
fair enough.
I'm a big boy. I look at the girl behind the bar and I smell what I smell and just say, "Food, please."
Oh. All right. Did you have an order to place? We have a menu.
Food, please.
This. She looks at you, sir. He said, "Does that mean I pick what he wants?" You're muted, Rika, if you're talking.
Bro, it's my dog. I'm so sorry.
No worries.
She'll be like, I suppose so.
I think Anthena will speak up, and she'll just be like, "Give him the biggest thing you have."
All right. Would the rest of you like to order something?
Ooh, yes, please. I'm starving.
Oh wait. Well, we do have